Nnamdi, how's the new apartment?
Oh my God, you guys. It's coming.
He's an adult.
For those of our, for our YouTube watchers, you probably see I am in a vastly different setting than I normally am. And yes, I did move to the city, Big Apple. Jay-Z used to live down the street. You feel me? You feel me? So, on a serious note, moving is incredibly difficult, incredibly expensive, and I'm glad it's over.
Is it over?
Yes. The album that has narrated my move thus far. Any guesses? The album I've been listening to nonstop during my move. I promise it's so easy. It's not, this isn't
The Weekend, After Hours.
Ooh, actually kind of, but that's not the movement. No, y'all, this is so easy.
Is it a Jay-Z album?
2014. Is it 2014?
Really, it's so easy.
2014 Forest Hills Drive.
And reliables when you're in a stressful moment. And I'm just feeling like in a J. Cole stan mood today. So,
when are you not in a J. Cole stan
mood?
You never know.
As he wears the hat that says KOD.
As I have the poster.
And the poster.
Add the poster in his background. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Congratulations, Nnamdi, and a whole adult now.
I know. It's very exciting. And I'm honestly just happy to do our music review, our podcast, because I need a sense of normalcy amid all the change I've had.
Okay, I just want to say this. Okay, this is nothing. I know we didn't really. I said it, y'all ignored it.
What?
This Gucci commercial is really cool because it's Iggy Pop, Tyler the Creator, ASAP. Somebody said this is
ASAP Rocky, right?
ASAP Rocky. And somebody said this is the biggest what's the word? Universe since Avengers. I don't know. It's stupid. Never mind. It's just who would think Iggy Pop, Tyler Creator, and ASAP Rocky would collab.
I posted it on Instagram because it is so great. It is so great.
You just took
model.
You just took the photo I used. I saw that.
I actually didn't.
You actually did. Hey, it's fine. I do that with Avery all the time. Welcome to the 97
podcast, where we give you the latest in music news and much more along the way. I'm one third of your hosts, Nnamdi Agwanwu, at Twitter at Namagwan, joined by
Noah McGee at Noah A. McGee on Twitter.
And Avery DeLaw at
I don't understand why every week it can never just be a seamless Nnamdi.
Because I feel like we go in the order and I just have to wait for Noah to go.
Well, I don't like the. Never mind. Let's just go. Let's get it.
So do you want to jump in? Okay, so you guys, we're kind of trying something different today. We're going to try to highlight music today because boy, was there so much music this week. But before we
I don't even know if it's different. It's just like not as much headlines.
Exactly. Well, yeah, truly. But we may have some different things coming up, so make sure you continue to tune in to the 97
That is true.
Demo.
That is true.
But starting on the charts rundown, not much has changed. Folklore by Taylor Swift again, number one. Look, you don't have to like Taylor Swift, but you got to give her props because no other album has been number one for this long on the chart. I believe it's been on the chart for 9 weeks. It's been about, I want to say, 5 of those weeks at number one. That's very impressive. Even more impressive, Pop Smoke, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, still number 2. It's been on the chart for 12 weeks, and I'm almost positive it's been number 2 for like 10 out of those weeks. Like it was number 1, and then it's just been number 2, and consistency is key. So kudos to Pop Smoke. Young Boy, Never Broke Again, top. Number 3, peaked at number 1. Alicia Keys debuting with Alicia at number 4. It was a great album. I loved it. And then rounding out the top 5, Juice WRLD, Legends Never Die, finally drops from number 3 to number 5. Not a good thing, but I guess all great albums must eventually fall. So, you guys, any surprises? We have debuts right after that. Did any of you listen to Moneybagg Yo or Keith Urban's new albums at number 6 and 7 on the chart?
I checked out that Keith Urban, and honestly, I'm joking. No, I didn't listen. I was like, whoa, really?
Whoa.
Honestly, wait, did you listen to it, Avery?
No, I did not.
No. I didn't listen to any of these new releases. I just listened to the Moneybagg Yo song that we had from like our playlist a couple weeks ago, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Moneybagg Yo is very underrated. I'm like becoming a fan. I know this is insane.
Fan. That's not a bad thing.
Well, maybe not a fan. I'm becoming an avid listener. But I think this album at number 6 is a good debut for Moneybagg Yo. Lil Tecca, Avery, I feel like that's your beat.
Well, that's me. That's actually me.
That's all Noah. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he's basically sounds like everybody else. Like I can comfortably say that he said that himself. But
he's gotten a lot of props over the last year.
Well, yeah, but I remember on Twitter he's like, guys, I'm retiring. And he's like, wait, don't leave. And he's like, guys, there's 10 other rappers that sound like me. You'll be fine.
Was it him? I remember that. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that was him. So I might check that out. I only like a couple songs, but I don't know if I could do a whole album of that. But we'll see. I'm actually interested that Alicia.
Yeah,
she
shout
debuted
out
at number
Alicia
4.
Keys.
Yeah. I was really,
hey, you guys, this was a great. I enjoyed this album a lot, and I probably still included some more songs from it on our playlist this week because I really did like it. But whenever I see artists like Alicia Keys debut within the top 5, it's one of those things where you have to even acknowledge the greatness. Because Alicia Keys' first album came out in 2001. That was 19 years ago, and she can still put out an album with limited promo and get number 4 and debut at number 4 on this chart. And again, she'll probably get a Grammy for it because I don't know if you guys know this. She's one of the most awarded female musicians when it comes to the Grammys. So it was a great album. I think it'll be critically acclaimed. And honestly, good for her. Alicia, I got your back.
I mean, she's one of the most talented musicians. I know people think it's normal for people to sing and play the piano, but that is not easy.
It is so hard.
It
is so hard.
The skill of Alicia Keys.
Yeah, and she's an incredible piano player, and she's an incredible singer.
Speaking from experience of someone who is far less talented than Alicia Keys, it is incredibly hard.
So.
Every time I gotta focus just to play the piano. Yeah. I don't know if any other crazy releases. I can't think of any. What about you guys? Any other crazy releases? Any other changes on the charts?
I don't think there's anything interesting here.
RTJ 4.
Jules, why did that re-entry? So you guys, I can say this now because I don't work there anymore, but I worked at CNBC for a long time. And one thing we did is whenever there was like a random move on the markets, you always have to ask why. So this Billboard is kind of the similar way. When there's a random re-entry, you have to say, why is there a re-entry this week? Was there like a deluxe? Was there a performance?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about RTJ. That is interesting. Maybe people realize it's one of the best albums this year. Period. I really don't know. I'm really. Hey, wait. So hold up.
There must have been a deluxe.
No deluxe. I don't think it was a deluxe. I would know. I think I would know, but I really don't know. I really don't know about Running Jules 4. I do have to say something about Fleetwood Mac now at 47.
Yeah.
I know last week was at 42. I think people have noticed because we talked about last week on the 500 greatest albums. I'm pretty sure it was in the top 10. I don't know if that was the album.
It was like 7.
What was RTJ? Was RTJ in that list?
No, it wasn't. But I was gonna say Fleetwood Mac streams continue to rise. There's this guy on Twitter. Mm-hmm. He did this viral video of the song Dreams, where he's basically sipping juice and like riding a bike, listening to Dreams. And I can send you guys the video on Twitter. It was just really interesting. It was just this random guy on Twitter, and streams went up from Fleetwood Mac, which is like an old band. So it's interesting.
I'm happy people are rediscovering that album. I need to go back and listen to like one of the all-time great albums. That album has so many classic songs, like Rihanna and Dreams. Like it's so cool. To go back and listen to that for the first time would be incredible.
I agree. And there's, I feel like old music listeners or music I don't know, gatekeepers always try to get on kids like, you gotta listen to the history of music.
Exactly.
You hear about that like with music, but like think about it. There's so much music in history, like it's really overwhelming. Like if I had to be like, you gotta listen to all this music. This is the essential music you have to listen to.
It's been on the charts for 391 weeks.
No, yeah. I've told you guys, one of the things I want to do, and this may be an episode in the next couple of weeks, is to literally just look at the bottom 100 of the top 200. Because that's where you find the albums that have withstood the test of time, that are the true classics that have just not dropped. Like Eminem's on there heavy, Kendrick is on there heavy, Adele's on there heavy, a lot of like old rock bands, AC/DC's on there heavy. Like a lot of these of those artists that like are just considered your classics, your icons, they're making money because they're
AC/DC
125 on this chart. Look at
that might be a topic. That might be a topic next week.
95 weeks.
Yeah, that might be a topic. That's really interesting. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to move on to the
Hot 100?
Over on Hot 100, you guys. So this is a big deal. We talked. I don't want to say there's a correlation, but we did our episode where we highlighted BTS as a K-pop group, and the next thing you know, they had a number 1. Dynamite by BTS is back at number 1 on the chart. That's significant because this is a fan base, a rabid fan base, that is pretty much doing what they can to get a number 1 on here, and they did it. So kudos to them.
That is kudos. Hold up. I gotta say something about. Okay, hold on. Go about the top 5. Go through the top 5. List the top 5, Nnamdi.
Okay. Now the suspense is like building with what Noah wants to say. But WAP
exactly what Noah wants to say.
WAP by Cardi B number 2 after 7 weeks. It's been in the top 3 for a minute. So kudos to that song. Holy by Justin Bieber debuts at number 3.
Holy by Justin Bieber. Hold up, Avery. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel?
I mean, look, they pushed the song really hard following its release. They're tweeting a lot about it, trying to get it everywhere. Justin Bieber and Chance the Rapper were like all over the place on social media promoting the song. So and it had a pretty viral music video. You know, good for them.
I have to ask, is this just considering all that promotion and considering the 2 songs that are out charting it are each 5 weeks and 7 weeks old respectively? Is this disappointing for Justin Bieber that his
No. I don't think so. I don't think there's a disappointment number 3 behind a WAP and Dynamite. I don't think that's a big deal. Honestly, I expect this song to drop next week. I'm not gonna lie. I expect this song to take a dip.
Yep,
Oh, yeah?
I agree.
I expect it to take a dip. Because I know Justin Bieber's a pop star. He doesn't sell as much as he used to back in his like prime selling years, but like I feel like he was pushing it really hard. Like, oh my gosh, listen, guys, listen. Like he's been doing that like with this whenever he releases something, he really pushes the streaming thing. I expect this to take a dip, and it's not. The song's okay. I mean, it's okay in my opinion.
It's fine. It's warm. I have warmed up to it, but it's fine. But I mean, kudos to that. Number 3, another top 5 debut for Justin Bieber, so kudos. Laugh Now, Cry Later, sitting pretty at number 4.
Still a good song.
And yeah, Mood by 24K Golden, rounding out the top 5. And this is significant because if you remember a couple weeks ago, it was at number 6 the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and I talked about crack that top 5.
Yeah. I agree. I was like, I think it's gonna be hard for the top 5 for it to crack the top 5 because I think Blinding Lights was probably in there, or Rockstar, something like that. I was like, it's gonna be tough. It was probably Blinding Lights and Rockstar in there, but then it looks like Mood and Holy took it over. So congratulations to 24K Golden. How you say his name? 24K Golden to top 5.
I have like a really fun fact about which song left the top 5, but I've been moving this weekend, so you guys are just gonna get what you get. So, is there any other debuts that catch your eye? Pretty much the top 10 are all songs that have already been very popular. I don't think any new songs that are really shaking up the top 20 or potentially even the top 40 this week. But I think that'll change next week. I really do, because we have a couple more interesting debuts that we can wait to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Nothing. I don't think nothing crazy on the Sam Smith with Diamonds, but
that song at 51. Okay debut. I think I can see that coming higher eventually.
Yeah, we'll see.
But okay, let's go. Speaking of upcoming debuts, let's go ahead and see what we can expect on the chart when it updates this Tuesday. Spilligion by Spillage Village. I always hope, and I really hope I could see it somewhere on the Billboard 200. I think it'll get there. So
what do you think? What do you think? How high?
Top 40 for sure.
Top 40 for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 30, but we'll see.
I mean, I feel like Earth Gang and Jid especially have built a rapport with fans, especially Dreamville and stuff like that. Coming off the Dreamville album, this is like the Dreamville compilation album Junior, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Earth Gang and Jid, they're familiar voices, and Ari Lennox are on the album also, familiar voices. So I hope they build some rapport, be able to with fans and whatnot to make it to the top 30, 40 on the Billboard 200. So.
Yeah, I'm sure franchise Travis Scott, I could see that having a top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
That's fuzzy. No one's in the room, just Rez. I don't know if it's in a chart, but it was a fantastic. Y'all, that song is so good.
Yeah, that song.
On our playlist last week.
It wasn't a playlist. What about Neighborhood, Avery? I want to know how Neighborhood, the Neighborhood album.
That album was so good.
How is that going to chart? I'm interested. How did
I don't know. They had that one song a few years ago that was that's still like crazy popular, Sweater Weather. But now I don't know. Like I honestly don't.
Sweater Weather. What song is the best time to wear a gray sweater?
That's definitely SpongeBob. But you know Sweater.
This guy.
Sweater Weather. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, they're a rock band. Rock hasn't obviously done too well in the charts at all recently. So we'll see.
Yeah. And they said Ferg is probably gonna get a top 10 debut probably. On the album, on top Billboard 200. MGK.
No. I'm sorry. If we're talking about albums, MGK is actually probably going to debut at number 1.
They might actually. I think it's going to debut number 1.
Because
surprisingly, actually, but.
And let me tell you for real. I really do think. Actually, I know what the upcoming debuts are. Shout out to Chart Data on Twitter. MGK is probably going to come in somewhere in the top 3. I think number 1. Switching to rock, probably the best move we could have done. Behind that, I think we could expect to see.
Wait, the MGK album is a rock album?
Yeah,
not a rapper. Well, at least for this album, he's not a rapper anymore.
I mean, I was gonna listen regardless, but I'm interested now.
All good artists deserve a good rebrand.
I don't think it was critically very well received.
I don't even think it's a rebrand. He always did tours with rock bands before. He did one with I forgot,
because I'm not sure hip hop collective would.
I don't know. Rappers doing the rock thing is not worked out well. Just listen to Kid Cudi's album. It's literally awful. It's disastrous. I don't even listen to rock, and it's disastrous.
Yeah, Always Forever Bryson Tiller, is that debuting this week? When did that come out?
Oh, that came out this past week. Week. That his album. Oh, Always Forever. That's just a song. That was just a single. Is
that the Drake single feature?
No. It's not. It's probably going to debut in the top 100. It's going to debut there.
It'll be so the chart.
Yeah, let's get to new releases. This is more interesting. It's a lot better. We're more interested in this.
No, I want you to talk about Savage Mode because I think as of now you're the only one of us who have really given it a true answer.
Yeah, Savage Mode. Savage Mode 2. Excuse me, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. Savage Mode 2. I have to say this. I got a text randomly from my good brother. I won't say his name on here. Shout
out to Josh. We know you're listening.
Josh, what?
We've mentioned him on the podcast before.
Okay. But 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, I got a text like, hey bro, you gotta listen to this album. It's really awesome. And then what was really interesting, it was like, yo, Morgan Freeman narrates the whole album. I was like, wait, hold up.
How much do you think you have to pay to get Morgan Freeman to narrate your whole album?
Probably not a lot, because he does everything.
Like, if I was Morgan Freeman, I'd be like,
no, for sure.
Nice check.
No, he probably has the best narrating voice in history, for real. Like, every documentary. He's done every documentary. But honestly, for a trap album, because obviously it has your normal trap drums in the background, which is, signature for trap albums. But the beats behind it were really interesting. It's a really interesting sounding trap album, which I actually really enjoyed. It's not something I would say is like an incredible album, something like that, but I'm really interested in the sounds. Like, there were some sounds on there that I didn't expect to hear on a trap album, especially 21 Savage. So I really like this album. I really enjoyed it. Great workout album, honestly, I would say. I mean, trap is great for working out, but great workout album if you want to hit the gym. So
I was excited for this because what was his last album with A Lot?
I'm greater than I was. I am greater than I was.
I was a huge fan of that album.
That was a good album.
I'm really looking forward to listening to Savage Mode 2 because I think 21 Savage, in my opinion, is probably one of the few rappers from his cohort that all debuted at the same time to really kind of make a stand and be impressionable and go beyond what he was kind of the trap scene he was kind of just like put in. I think he's really found a way to create really good music and stand out. Who else did 21 Savage kind of come to the scene with? It was like him, and was he part of the Lil Uzi group?
It was like Lil Uzi, Kodak Black. That freshman cover was like him, Kodak Black, Designer. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Who else was in there? Lil Yachty. They were all like the same class of people.
And I think more than that, 21 Savage was the one who was kind of like, oh, he just has one flow. He don't rap that well. And he's really, I think, kind of just shot back and like continued to put out music that's like really good.
We also have to shout out 21 Savage for coming up with one of the best Twitter moments of the past few years when people found out he was actually British.
British. Was that this year?
That was right before. That was like the weekend of the Rams Super Bowl, the Rams Patriots.
Okay.
And then also, he does like really great work in the community that he's from. So.
He really does. I really do like that. But the thing is, also, I have to say, he kind of gets lumped in with like the mumble rap crowd.
And he's not.
He's not mumble rap. You can hear what he's saying. Like, he's not like he gets lumped in with Young. Like, that's what I think of Young Thug when I think of mumble rap. Yeah. I don't understand what he's saying. Just 21 Savage, I know what he's saying, but I don't consider him.
Plus, he's got a cool voice. Whether the music's good or not, he's got a really cool voice.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm going to do this now. I think mumble rap is going to be one of the most short-lived rap trends in a while. I think I don't think newer artists that come on the scene are doing mumble rap. And I think the group that did do mumble rap, not that many of them are still here to...
Bye, Playboy Cardi.
But just think about it. The people that are Young Thug, even him, I feel like he's kind of slowly moving away from mumble rap. He's still on the scene.
Young Thug is incredible. What he's been able to do.
I think I don't think mumble rap's gonna be here to stay for that long, which makes sense. I could have guessed.
Okay, let's get it out the way. Bryson Tiller anniversary album. I'm gonna be Avery to it.
It's your guy.
My guy. I was speaking to Avery a little bit about this. The album's really solid. I don't think it's bad. It's just I think that music I've outgrown it in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said this last week. I want my R&B artists just to sing. Like I kind of want my R&B artists just to sing. You know, when you're kind of getting introduced, like when I was just listening to rap and you're trying to get to R&B, Bryson Tiller is like a good middle point. It's like, oh, he's rapping, but he's singing a little bit. It's cool. But I don't know, man.
Guys, is Bryson Tiller an artist who set the bar too high with his first album?
Yes.
Do you think he has met that bar with this album?
No. And that's, in my opinion, no. And I think, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think people think it has the same feel as the first album, which people like. I think that's why people are enjoying this album. So it's probably a win for him. It's really reminiscent of his first album. He's doing he's releasing music videos of a song that came out 5 years ago now. Yeah.
Let's see what other big albums we had. Since I'm slowly becoming our pop correspondent, because our current pop correspondent doesn't listen to pop.
Lacking.
Blackpink came out with their album. I didn't listen to it, but I know there was a feature.
Okay. How can you be like, I'm the new pop guy, and then be like, I haven't listened to it yet?
Because I didn't listen to it, but I've done enough research on it to be able to come to the pod.
Okay, that just sounds like an excuse. I don't want to hear it.
Anyway, they did it.
Did you listen to the Taylor Park song?
Oh wait, who did it, Taylor? Wait, are we talking about Blackpink or is it something separate?
I'm just saying, if you're anointing yourself as the pop person, then if you listen to the Taylor Park song,
I would be thrilled for you to still be the pop person. But there's been a trend the last couple of weeks.
I don't know how you can say that you're the pop guy and then bring up an album and say I haven't listened to it yet.
Well, I just
don't know how that works.
Avery, I've listened to some songs off of that album. Have you, Mr. Pop?
I have not, but you can't. I feel like you can't be like. But I'm not anointing myself in anything. I'm just saying.
Well, no, you weren't. You weren't.
Okay. Here, let's calm down.
I'm just curious how you can.
The Twitter poll: who should be the pop correspondent, Nnamdi or Avery? Log on to @the97demo. Let us hear.
I'm just curious. I was just curious how that works. But go ahead, take the floor, Mr. Pop.
All I was going to say about this, Cardi B did a song and talked about how it's hard to write a song without rapping. I mean, without cursing, and I thought that was really funny. So that was the only thing I can get from there. And I'll say I'm really a big fan of globalization of U.S. music, and I love the fact we've had, Jamaican artists that have charted, we've had Nigerian artists that have charted, and I love the fact that we now have South Korean artists that are really kind of making a splash. And that continues. We're a diverse country, and I think our music should reflect that. So shout out to them. I think they're probably going to debut within the top 3 when that happens eventually. So good to see. Avery, at least you're our country correspondent. So can you talk to us about Bon Jovi, please? Or is he rock?
Bon Jovi is not country by any sort of the standard.
I even do that.
He is a rock artist.
Well, Don't Stop Believing. That was him, right?
That was Journey.
Oh.
So.
Living in Prayer.
Yes, and You Give Love a Bad Name, all that. I have not listened to the Bon Jovi album. I was not aware he even dropped an album.
I
am not looking for Bon Jovi music in 2020. I apologize. Yeah. Anyways,
I don't think
what I did listen to, the two that I thought stood out this week, the Cali, which is Jai Cortez, La Luz, that song, fantastic, already on the playlist, and also Taylor Parks, pop artist from Dallas, Texas. She's great. She's wonderful. That song is incredible. And I went back and listened to her discography after I listened to that song. And I'm like, oh yeah, Taylor Parks is amazing. So those are my 2 standouts from this week, personally.
I just realized I didn't put a project of the week, so I'm doing that like live as we.
Yeah. What else is new?
The Ari Lennox song was good too. Chocolate Pomegranate. That was good. I was excited for new Ari Lennox music.
Yeah, Ari Lennox was good. I listened to the Georgia Smith song, which is like a dance hall type feel. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Georgia Smith, let's just get the album. She's reached like 4 singles in the last couple of months.
I'm kind of curious as to why she hasn't just thrown out an album.
I guess she's just waiting for the right time. I don't know, I guess. But it's been a lot. Haven't we released in the last couple of months, has it been like 4 songs come out? Seriously? For Georgia Smith?
Yeah. One of them's for like a collection though. It's not like a.
I know that.
I'm saying.
No, for sure. I'm agreeing with it. It's just like she's been really active with like her music that's like she's the act on the song. Ready for the album. And Kali Uchis, I know she released the EP, so she kind of gets a pass, but like,
yeah,
we want that too.
If I was Kali Uchis, I'm not mad at her because I still think, especially her and Georgia, they put out some of the best music that year with their respective albums. Georgia Smith had, I can't remember the names of each album, but I loved them both. And Kali Uchis, I think it was both their debuts, and they got paid dust for it. And I know that's frustrating because y'all, the albums were so good. Isolation by Kali Uchis And Georgia Smith was it's gonna come to me in a second. As soon as Lost and Found, both fantastic albums, some of the best of 2018, and they didn't get any love, not critical or commercial. So I can understand why now they may want to put out more singles to test the water before dropping an album on everyone's head. So either way, I'm looking forward to it. Meg Thee Stallion, Don't Stop. Avery, you listened to this song, and I think we have opposite takes as of now. So what was your take on it?
It was good. It was catchy. Like, I still have the chorus like stuck in my head. I can still think about it. And the music video is really cool. Kind of like an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. But yeah, no, I just thought, I don't know if like the song was fine. I don't know if I'll listen to it again or anything, but like it was really catchy. It was really catchy.
Are there any, yeah, I was going to ask, are there any releases on here that you're really interested to take a listen to that you haven't got a chance to?
I mean, now that you've talked up the 21 Savage album, I think I'm really interested in listening
to it.
Oh,
yeah. Actually, low-key, that's that for me, too. Probably 21 Savage's
album. Oh, the Giveon album was really good, too. Or the EP was good, too. I don't know if you guys...
You listened to it?
I didn't listen to it.
That's what I want to do.
I listened to the EP, but if the EP has a lot of the other, like, little loosies he was releasing, that means I've already listened to, like, half of it.
Your girl's on it, Nnamdi. Snow Allegra's on it.
That's my girl. Hold on. That is my girl.
Excuse me?
I'm pretty sure that's my girl, but...
No, you don't even... I'm not doing this on the pod. This is an off-mic conversation.
Wait, I don't even want... Snow Allegra, that's the homie. But, yeah.
She's on the EP, and it's good.
No, that's both of us. Yeah, Giveon, I still haven't taken a listen to his music just outside of the Drake song, but I'm really interested in listening to that.
Look, here's how I'm going to describe Giveon. We had Daniel Caesar, and we enjoyed him. He did what he did, and was this kind of like dropped.
Cancel
me. Giveon to me is the perfect, like, he fills the void that was left perfectly. That's the best way I can describe Giveon's music to me.
Well, it's not well, that's interesting because when we first heard him on the Drake thing, everybody thought that was Sampha on that song. He sounds like Sampha. And I was like, oh, it's Sampha.
Yeah.
But then when you hear it, listen to his music, which I haven't got to listen to, but from what I get, he doesn't sound like Sampha on like his music by himself. When it's just him.
Yeah, I think Chicago Free Soul is, people said it sounded like Sampha because nobody knew who Giveon is. So I just think that's what it was, more so that. But I think he has a very promising career ahead of him. Because I love his music and I'm not a return.
And let me get it out the way. Westside Gunn released his 5th album of the year in the last 2 months.
Stop. Because it's been good, but like, should he stop? Like 5 albums?
No, I'm joking. It's been 3 actually, but that's not much of
it.
Still, how do I feel about that? First of all, the project is dope, of course. Like, he doesn't release bad music.
Great, right? That's why it's kind of hard. Because it's like
that's why I think it's kind of hard, but like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, you know, and that's the thing. I used to be the guy who was like, why are you guys releasing music all the time? Because it was artists I didn't like. But like, I like this guy. But and I like all his albums. So I can't even be mad about it. And they're short too. I can't be mad about it. This album is 11 songs, 40 minutes, really short. I really, he releases it every time. He's like, yo, this is the best top. And literally interview, he's like, yo, I think this is the top Westside Gunn album. But I think this is a big deal because this is his debut on Shady, I believe. On Shady Records.
Wait, is he not Griselda? And he isn't Griselda?
No, he's Griselda. He's Griselda, but he's also signed to Shady. So it's a Griselda Shady thing. So that's why. So Conway the Machine and Westside Gunn have a deal with Shady Records. So I think that's why it's a big deal. But so this is why it's a big deal. So it's technical, big label debut, but it's still great. So can't get mad about it. So yeah.
You guys, so are we done? I think we're ready to head into headlines.
Headlines.
So this first one, SNL had its debut yesterday for us. By the time this comes out, 2 days ago, she performed "Savage" and "Don't Stop." But I guess the more critical part is she made a couple like pretty big statements regarding Black Lives Matter. The most jarring and blatant is while she was performing at one point, she had text that said, I believe it was like, Daniel Cameron, who was the Attorney General involved in the Rihanna Taylor case, of course, is no different than the sellout N-word. I mean, can we?
It wasn't the N-word. It was another
will Spotify drop us?
Well, quote it. Just
quote, Daniel Cameron is no different than the sellout Negroes that sold our people into slavery.
Okay, there you go.
Which, of course, a very strong statement, but something that has been echoed. We've seen on Twitter and social media. And during the performance itself, she says, we need to protect our Black women and love our Black women because at the end of the day, we need our Black women. Now, we know Megan Thee Stallion has a very, very real experience about, Black women being protected. And, she's someone who can definitely speak to that considering what she's been through the last couple of weeks. But it was a strong performance. Did any of you guys get a chance to watch?
I didn't watch the performance. I was able to watch the first couple of skits. I said before the podcast, I watched the first couple of skits. So I watched the opening skit, the music video, which was Megan was on, and another skit, which was interesting. But I haven't got a chance to see the performance, which I'll check out probably. It's probably on YouTube now at this point.
Yeah. Well, I got some time today to actually go through the SNL episode. I'll probably try and watch as many skits as possible and the performances as well.
Yeah, I want to watch the whole episode though, because it's probably awesome. So.
No, let me ask you. And I guess Avery, you can chime into. We're all, people of color, but no, I really do want to ask you as a Black man. Megan's comments regarding Attorney General Daniel Cameron. You're no different than the sellout Negroes who sold our people into slavery. Was that too strong a sentiment, or do you think it's something that is kind of that especially for SNL? This isn't like she tweeted this. That was an SNL. I guess, do you think it'll have what kind of impact? Maybe the better question is, do you think that'll have? Just I guess on anything, giving that such a massive audience.
Yeah. What's the impact? I think it's a big impact in terms of letting people know what he's doing. I think people now are finally realizing who Daniel Cameron is. He's obviously the Attorney General in Kentucky, which is a big deal because he's the person that is basically in charge of. It's basically his decision whether they arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. It's Breonna Taylor, right? Breonna Taylor. I always make sure I'm saying her name correctly. Breonna Taylor. That's the thing. It's will this impact anything politically? Will this change, the case against the police officers? I doubt it. But always raising awareness is important and putting pressure on the people who have control of these things. So I mean, if Daniel Cameron was listening, I hope he feels some type of way because it's kind of ridiculous that the people who killed Breonna Taylor are still not in custody. It's pretty much ridiculous.
And I kind of feel like if there's anyone who was kind of fit to send this message, it's Megan Thee Stallion.
Absolutely, exactly. Especially because Breonna Taylor is obviously a Black woman. That was obviously Megan wasn't affected by police violence, but it was still violence against Black women, which is still a big deal in this country. Not just women, but Black women specifically. It's a big deal. So I think it's important that Megan said that, which I think is a good thing. So
yeah. Okay, so definitely look forward to watching that again and seeing what other music Meg comes out to. She performed Savage and Don't Stop. Both, I guess, one's a certified hit. One I'm sure will soon be a hit. So good for Meg. I hope she keeps it up. So this is kind of a little lighter-hearted story. As we know, during one of Kanye West's recent rant, he said that he'll be giving good musicians 50% of their masters. That was really praised widely because it's sort of wow, you're being a man of your word, you're putting your money where your mouth is. A week later, I want to say week and a half later, a designer sent Kanye West a tweet, hey, where's that percentage at? When are we getting the ball rolling on that? And I want to highlight this because I think it's the second reply, and I almost cried. It was
yeah,
bro, he's back on his meds. You're not gonna and,
chill. But yeah, a designer. I don't know. Kanye that's why I was I'm not gonna give Kanye for tweeting it out because Kanye probably has no control over their masters at all.
Exactly.
Just about
no control.
I do not think Kanye West is in a position where he can single-handedly decide I'm giving them back their masters. So, so maybe it'll happen soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who believed him when he said that.
People probably did. People love to be oh, look, Kanye putting his money where his mouth is.
Artists were this. Big Sean was this will be great. Designer was this will be great. So a lot of the actual good musicians, the people who would I assume would know, who could make that decision, praised it. But I think it's just a matter of Kanye West impulse tweeting things that are very complex and probably way more difficult than we know or are privy to.
Yeah, and I also have to say this, this whole masters thing, obviously it's in the news now because Kanye, but this thing has always been a thing. Prince obviously made it famous when he wore the slave thing, when he drew slave on his face back in the day.
Changed his name when he was lovable for a while because he couldn't release anything under the name Prince.
Exactly. So this is not, as long as music's been around, the masters has always been a thing. I can only think of a couple artists that own their masters. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure Stevie Wonder owns most of his masters. I'm not exactly sure. I think Stevie Wonder
for a while owned the Beatles masters. I don't think he does anymore, but I know that was a thing. I know Taylor Swift moving forward, I think owns her masters. I think Jay-Z has bought back his masters.
Jay-Z bought back his masters, and that's actually another thing because apparently Jay-Z had to like give away Kanye's masters to get his own masters in a way. It was a whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Said that, and I tried to look through those. Like, I didn't look through all 120 pages of that contract, but I looked through some, trying to see where that was like mentioned, and I couldn't find it. But if that's true, that's
well, that's the thing I have to say, that since we're on this, and I think this is a big deal to say. First of all, this is the thing about Kanye. I know if Jay-Z did do that, first of all, I don't feel that bad because it's hard for me to feel bad for billionaires. Like, it's hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to internally feel bad for billionaires when they lose money. Like, I just can't. But think about this. Jay-Z, first of all, getting your masters basically, like, especially if you're a huge artist, basically setting up your kids for life, essentially. So, like, was Jay-Z not gonna get his masters back? Like, was he not gonna do that? Like, what would you guys have done? Like, seriously, like, were you not gonna get, like, that's the thing, business, man. It's really business. Like, what you gonna do? Like, was he not gonna get his masters back? Like, I don't blame Jay-Z.
You know, so I mean, if it's true, I think that'd be, part of me wants to say it's business, but the other part of me wants to say if Jay-Z is someone who's kind of stands for Black empowerment and uplifting your communities, and kind of throwing one person under the bus to benefit yourself would kind of be crazy. But I really don't think I don't think it's as cut and dry as, hey, you can have your masters if we can have Kanye's. I don't feel like is that like.
But if it was, would you be mad at it though? I wouldn't be that mad about it.
No,
honestly. I'm saying with Kanye, if Kanye was given the opportunity, like, hey, bro, you can get all your masters if you just sell Big Sean's.
Oh, easy. That'd be easy decision for him.
Easy decision for Kanye. That's the thing, though. That's why I can't get mad about it. And they're both billionaires. Who cares?
Yeah. So who really cares? Yeah, who cares at the end of the day?
Who cares?
Eat the rich, right?
And speaking of Jay-Z and Kanye, and I guess Rock Nation, maybe Rihanna is not really music, but she did revive the Savage by Fenty red carpet show and introduced and launched a new line at the same time. Of course, Rihanna makes waves again because the line included men and plus size women and people of all shades of colors. And again, Rihanna
kind of a giant middle finger to Victoria's Secret is what it felt like.
Who, by the way, no longer has a fashion show. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they announced last year that they were getting rid of the fashion show.
Who cares? This is better anyway.
Exactly. Every time people like Rihanna for new music, I literally never get mad because my thing is, I'm never gonna. Rihanna probably. Speaking of masters, I doubt Rihanna owns her masters.
She probably does.
Very young when she signed her record deal. I doubt she had any sort of leverage. So even if the bulk of her music, she probably doesn't own. So her going and diversifying her assets and finding other streams of revenue, I'm only gonna ever praise that move. So I love the fact that she's doing Savage by Fenty and that it's a successful line, and she was able to get people of this caliber at this show because she had Lizzo, she had Cara Delevingne, she had Bella Hadid, she had Rosalia, she had Chica, she had literally Normani again. She had Christian Combs? Is that P. Diddy's son that was there? Mm-hmm. She's making an impact in a way only I think Rihanna can. So I definitely love to see it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys think like it's a thing like saying like Victoria's Secret models or something like that? Do you think it's going to change? It's going to be like, oh, a Savage Fenty model or a Fenty model or something?
That would be dope. That would be dope, especially it's definitely from a Black woman. That's really interesting.
This continues absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on Nnamdi on the music thing. Like, I do think Rihanna will release an album because I think Rihanna does care about her fans, and I think she does love music enough to be like, you know what, I'm gonna put an album out even if I don't own my masters. Because I'm agreeing with you. I think Avery and Nnamdi said this. Like, she probably doesn't own her masters. She probably doesn't. And she's basically a self-made billionaire. Like, she's a self-made billionaire. So I can't be mad at her for focusing on, her company. Obviously, that's a big deal. That takes a lot of time anyway. But but she obviously still does music because in this show alone, music was a big part of it. Big Sean had a performance. Roddy Ricch had a performance. I don't remember who Roddy Ricch is with. He's probably the baby. It probably was the baby, I think. But it probably was. I'm just
saying that
it probably was. But yeah, I mean, music is a big part of Rihanna, and so it's dope to see. So
hey, you guys, I live on this for 5 seconds because I'm about to live at a headline. So just continue on. Find something else to say about it. speaking of the performances, I don't know if you guys saw Rosalia. She was performing, and that was just the way I felt about it was sort of like, whoa.
Did you watch? Wait, did you watch the performances? Is there a way to stream the performances?
It's on Amazon Prime, and which, by the way, is that a collab that we look forward to saying? Okay, I put it in there. Guys, I want to talk about the Hip Hop Award nominees. Or after this, we can do this first, but that's the live headline I added, so be mentally prepared to jump into that.
No, yeah. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. It's just really cool to see. Victoria's Secret is obviously,
Paris Hilton was there.
Yeah, obviously it's headlined by mostly, I wouldn't say not black women, because black women have been in the Victoria's Secret show, but it's obviously headlined by white women for sure. And it's really dope to see Savage Fenty. Obviously, there was white women there and whatnot. There's white people there. There's not white people aren't allowed, but it's headlined by Rihanna. Rihanna's a black woman. There's black women in the shows.
The reason I love Rihanna and exactly what you say, when people ask for representation, they're not saying I don't want any white people involved. They're not saying I want it to solely be people of color. They're saying I want to feel that when I watch your show, I see someone that looks like me. I want to watch your show and feel like it's reflective of the community that I, a person of color, grow up, live in. And Rihanna manages to do that easily. The problem with places like Victoria's Secret and their fashion shows, they hear diversity and they say, okay, we're going to, instead of having 20 all white models, we're going to have 18 and then one black girl, one Latino girl. And that's not enough.
Well, it's because when there are black spaces or spaces that are supposed to be meant for black people, they're supposed to be safe spaces. That doesn't mean that white people aren't allowed. It just means that this is a place where you're supposed to respect other people's opinions and other people's spaces. When it's a place for white people and it's supposed to be a safe space for white people, it's intentionally exclusionary to everyone else.
Exactly.
It's never inclusive.
Yeah, exactly. That's so perfect right there. That's literally perfect.
Because I don't know if you get that male plus size model he went viral on Twitter, and I saw men who, men are pretty guarded people with their emotions traditionally, and you saw men being like, I've never seen a guy that looks like this model. I feel seen. That's my body type.
That was huge. Huge.
That is a big deal. I agree. Inclusion on every level. So
exactly. Yeah. It's not just diversity; it's inclusivity.
So you guys, really quick, I threw in a headline about the BET Hip Hop Awards because they announced their nominees. And of course, the BET Awards always they happen every other month because they have the Hip Hop Awards and the BET Awards, and they have the Soul Train Awards, and they have there's a whole bunch of different iterations. But I like talking about this because a lot of the artists that we felt were snubbed by the Grammys and VMAs are highlighted here. The person who leads the pack is DaBaby. I think he has about 12 entries. Roddy Ricch, who, if you remember, I think we were he didn't even get a VMA nom for something. I think whether it was Artist of the Year or something. Got 11 nominations, as well as Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion also had, with Drake, had 8 nominations. So I just thought it was worth giving a quick mention. Future also had 6 nominations. We art for best hip hop video.
If Run the Jewels gets best duo group, I will give major props to. They probably won't, but that'd be super dope to see.
I see DJ of the Year and DJ Envy's a nominee, and I'm like, is that just what he does on The Breakfast Club?
Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that
the BET Award, DJ Khaled's on there, of course, and what's he do?
Yeah,
I guess
if anyone but
D-Nice don't get it. Don't get it.
Trash.
It's trash. If
that's Tiana Taylor, your Director of the Year, Video Director of the Year.
Oh well, no, she directs videos. That is.
Yeah, she does for videos. Yeah,
good for her though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hip Hop Album of the Year, you guys. Who do you think is going to take it? Blame It on Baby and Kirk by DaBaby are both nominated. As well as High Up Life by Future, My Turn Lil Baby, Sugar Meg Thee Stallion, and
honestly, there's only one answer for me.
Roddy Ricch. Who's that answer?
It's Roddy Ricch. Please excuse me for
that
being
album
antisocial.
Was awesome. So
Honestly, that's the only answer for me. Honestly,
it's such an interesting. This is such an interesting hip hop album of the year.
Yeah, what's the timeline for this?
It's missing, but and also I don't know when the in and end point are for eligibility.
Yeah, because Kirk and Blame It on Baby basically I feel came a year apart.
Maybe it's just things that came out last year because I was where I don't see Gunna, I don't see.
Didn't Blame It on Baby come out this year though, right?
Oh, it came out in March. That is true.
Yeah.
I don't see Pop. So maybe those didn't meet the.
What? I don't know. I don't know.
Year. What does that even mean? How do you decide
Jay-Z
for the year?
Yeah, Jay-Z is gonna win it every year.
It's the definition of a hustler.
Hustler, yeah.
That's in his own words, I'm the definition of a hustler.
Low-key, it should probably be Travis Scott though, who has gotten like 26 different deals. So like, what else is that? What's the hustle? You know?
Yeah, but Jay-Z. Okay, there's the thing. Travis Scott is signing deals. Jay-Z's giving the deals. Like, who's really making the most money?
It's true.
It levels to this. You know what I'm saying? It levels here. You know what I'm saying? It levels to this. So, yeah, yo, I didn't even know. Looking through this, I didn't even know they had this video awards, best hip hop platform.
Crazy.
See, wait, but if Savage the remix is here, that leads me to say, does that mean Pop Smoke and like Juice WRLD and all those artists were just snubbed? Because I don't see how.
Look at Rhapsody, bro. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused, but either way, I'm sure we'll watch. Do we want to make predictions on any of these, or do we not care enough?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna do a for the year. Because when I look back at the Billboard Music Award nominations, I felt bad. So let's just wait. Hip hop. Let's hip hop album of the year. Let's just
take a quick. No, we already saw that.
So let's take it. Think is gonna win, just for fun.
I say Roddy Ricch.
All right, so we're all on the same page. Roddy Ricch.
Wait a second, and go to artists too. Best artist of the year too. Artist of the year.
Do they have that? I don't know.
Yeah, they did. Hip hop artist of the year.
I'll go Meg.
I'm gonna go Meg too.
She just had Savage. I would say Roddy Ricch here too, but it's probably gonna go to like Future or Drake. Oh, Lil Baby. No, I can see Lil Baby take it.
Oh yeah, or Lil Baby. Honestly, I could see the bottom three, one of them getting that'd be fine. I just kind of feel like Megan, because it's kind of just to kind of rally around her. You know, no, seriously, just like kind of rally around Megan, and she's still been doing her thing. It's like if she got it, it's not like, oh my gosh, Roddy got snubbed type thing, you know. So
I mean, Meg's been the moment for the past 2 years now. So
really, she's really been the it girl. So yeah,
it person, yeah.
She's a great person. I don't know her, but
no, like she's been the it person, but
it person.
Anyways.
I agree.
Well, now you guys, so
the main event.
Now for what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Who wants to intro this? Because I'm excited about it. I can. Should I do it?
I can give a little intro.
No, let us hear it.
I can give a little intro. Okay, Spillage Village. So Spillage Village is a music collective, basically based in Atlanta, Georgia. It was started by the members of Earth Gang, which are Johnny Venus and Dr. Dot. Basically, they started off as Earth Gang and Jid. They all went to Hampton, and so obviously that's where Earth Gang kind of connected. And basically, they recruited Jid while he was on the football team at Hampton University. And also, there's some other members of this group. Hollywood JB and Jordan Bryant joined the group soon after. So yeah, they've been around for a while, and they released their first compilation in February 2014. So that's like about 6 years ago. So they also, and then later that year, they also added Mariba, along with Six Black also. And a year later, Spillage Village followed with their second compilation, Bears Like This Too, which included Six or Black, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they've been around for a while, and I believe in 2016 or 2017 is when they signed with Dreamville officially as a collective. Dreamville, not like the artists individually, but as a collective, they're signed to Dreamville along with Earth Gang and Jid and whatnot. So they've been around for a while.
Their fourth album?
I think there's their third album, third or fourth. Okay. I'm pretty sure they have three. I think they have a mixtape, and they have two like official releases, and then they
Bears
have
Like This, and then Bears Like This Too Much, and now they have Spilligion.
And then the Spilligion, which is like the big album debut type thing.
Yeah, wait, Bears Like This, Bears Like This Too, Bears Like This Too Much. Spilligion.
Yeah, Bears Like This.
Also,
I feel like it's a mixtape.
There's a little shout out to the first few albums on this album cover where he's holding a bear. The little Grim Reaper's holding a bear. So.
Yeah. So in 2017 was when Jid and Earth Gang signed to Dreamville. So yeah, and a lot of these artists made an appearance on the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 album too. So it's all connected. So this is their major. I guess I would say it's their big introduction to like the mainstream, or it's just their big debut where it feels like major label debut in terms of them dropping an album. I want to see who this was released under on Apple Music. I want to see who this is released under. It says
I would assume it's Dreamville.
Yeah, it says Dreamville since the 80s, Interscope Records. So under Dreamville, major debut, introducing all these artists to collective, since we already kind of know Jid and Earth Gang for the most part, but these other artists I feel like were the important part of everything else. So yeah, let's get into it. So first thoughts, listen to the album when you guys first turned it on. First song, I just want to say, since we won't want to go song for song, but that first song, what did you guys feel about it? Kind of going off the title, Spilligion. You see the cover. It's kind of getting the idea of like religion is going to be a theme throughout this album. How'd you feel about the intro? How that kind of set off the album and kind of introduced the whole theme of religion?
Okay, so I can't. If I'm gonna talk about that point, it's gonna go way beyond the first song. So Avery, maybe you should go first.
Okay.
I listened to this first track once when I turned on the album, and then every time it comes on the shuffle, I just take.
Guys, okay.
Switch through
it. Can I just rant? It's part of the review, and no, I'm sorry. This is your part, but I'm gonna
Go ahead.
I listened to this album for like the first 5 days of it. I was just an album called Spilligion, right? So Spillville, I heard it. It was a funny intro. I'm with it. I love Country Wayne. Desi Banks is hilarious. Sure, I didn't get it. You know, well, I kind of got it. I understood the concept of it, but it was like whatever. It's a skippable track. It's a little skit. It's kind of introducing the themes of religion about pastors having money. It sets the tone for I guess the little themes that you'll find throughout the album. But when I listened to this album first listened through, I listened to it just as a regular hip hop album, a rap album, and I loved it. The production was great. I loved the lyricism. I loved the bars. 2 days ago, I sat down and I realized, wait, this is a concept album. It's called Spilligion. It's a concept album in the sense of you're supposed to feel like you're going to church. You're supposed to find some a religious connection to it. And when I started re-listening to it with that in mind, of this being this religion concept album, them indoctrinating you in this new religion they're introducing you to, or them making a comment on religion and wealth and all these other things, I started kind of liking it less and less because I'm not sure that theme is strong enough to power the whole album. And you start looking at some of the connections and the title work, and you start, it just feels like, so for instance, they have a song called Shiva. Why is it called Shiva? The lyrics of the song I think is I'm living in a house of, I have a whole bunch of shades of green, live in a house of blue. Is it called Shiva because Shiva is blue in artist work? Is that the sole connection there? It started making me feel like, some of the actual religion aspect of this wasn't strong enough to fill an entire album. And it does feel like, okay, it's an album that's named after all these religious songs. Every single title is in some way connected to God or religion. But it felt like they were just they picked the name Spilligion and they were just trying to find a way to make the songs work, under that theme, as opposed to creating an album fully in concept that was meant to highlight the problems or themes or issues that they personally have with religion as we see it. Does that make sense? It was weird. It was weird. I liked it more when I thought it was just a regular hip hop album than when I thought it was a concept album about religion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree with everything you're saying. I thought the concept was a little weak throughout the album. Yeah, and I agree. It's pretty surface level throughout all of it. I don't think they have a song Baptize is about. Is it really about what a baptism is about? I agree. No, I completely agree with everything you're saying. I don't have anything much more to add on it because you said it all so well. But yeah,
right, Baptize is a perfect example. Baptize is a fire song. Love it. Yeah. Listen to it all the time. But when I think about it as, okay, Baptize is supposed to be a critique on religion, maybe, or is supposed to somehow fit within this concept of Spilligion, then it's well, what is it? What about this is it connected to religion in any single way? What about this? What are you baptizing me in? Go to the chorus on here, Avery or Noah, whoever's controlling the screen right now. Avery, I knew that. I'm a baptized, let's get baptized. Okay. Cool. And then the first verse I did is, she said it's cold inside that water, her nipples hard. That's it? Sipping gin and reading the book of Genesis. What? There's the connection to religion and God, which is such a powerful topic. You can do so much of it. We have seen artists critique religion. We've seen artists wear religion on their sleeves to talk about sex and power and the fact that religion shames people and the issues of Christianity. And Spilligion doesn't really do that. It just feels like they wanted to pick a cool name of Spilligion and then find a way to make all the different songs work. One track, I'm gonna say this and then I'll stop talking and let you guys take the floor. One track that I feel this heavy on it's with Mariba, and it's, I want to say Psalm Sing.
Yeah.
There's I just don't. There's literally, it's called Psalm Sing, but and Psalm, of course, if you're Christian, you understand a book in the Bible that's pretty much dedicated to poetry and music and all these different psalms, right, that teach you life lessons. And I don't get that in here. I don't understand the connection beyond just the title of how it connects to this broader theme of religion. So that's pretty much where I'm at with it. A couple listens in.
Yeah. What about you, Avery? Do you have anything else?
How just feel about the album overall, or?
Well, I haven't get to get my thoughts. I guess I can go. Yeah, I guess I'll go. So, Nnamdi, wow, that was a great little rant you had there. But
I was holding that in for days.
No. It's fine though. So similar to you, when I just listened to it, I honestly was just listening to it as a collective type album. You know what I'm saying? Like a compilation album, as you would say. Because obviously with compilation albums, there's usually not a theme with it. You know, it's usually not a theme. It's just basically like Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Obviously, I still think that's a great album, but I think that's the perfect album for a compilation album. It's really highlighting these new artists on these, a collection of artists on songs, which I really enjoyed. There wasn't really a theme of the album, but I think that's what made it dope because it was just dope beats and it was done really well with great rapping. Now, this was interesting because obviously the album's named Spilligion, and they tried to have this loose concept of religion throughout the whole album, which I don't think is a bad thing. But to you, I feel like they could have went further with it, and they didn't really. I feel like they tried to push it there. They tried to push it, but they could have. If they were gonna do it, they should have went all the way with it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like these like guys. You know what? We're gonna come together, and we're gonna do an album called Spilligion, okay? And we're gonna have the skit at the beginning talking about, how the pastor's taking money from the choir and kind of questioning religion and how it affects Black people and whatnot, African Americans, in our lives and throughout lives and whatnot, which I think is okay. But, and this is the thing about Tricky doing compilation albums, because if it was a group or something like doing that always worked together, you could tell that they were like if Run the Jewels when Run the Jewels does something, you're like, wow, they really sit down and thought about this, and they really built a rapport. They've really built a rapport because they work each other for the past 8 years. With this group, it's obviously, you can tell, even if you're new to Spillage Village, you're gonna come, you're like, wow, it's obviously a collective, because you can tell, even though the music's dope, it sounds great. You can tell that as a group together, it wasn't thought about as intensely or as deep as it could have been if they wanted to stick with that. Maybe that was their goal. Maybe they just wanted a loose theme, but I feel like if they were just gonna loosely do that, I feel like they should just make straight music, honestly.
And bro, I'm so happy you brought up Run the Jewels, because that's a perfect compare and contrast. Run the Jewels R2J4 doesn't even tell you it's they don't even tell you there's a theme. Yeah. So you listen immediately and you get it. Police brutality, power dynamics.
There's a lot of themes on there.
War on blacks. You get the theme. It's a comment on inequality. It's a comment on policing. It's a comment on community, the state of Black America. You immediately feel that, and even if every single song doesn't touch on it, you get it when you listen to the album.
Absolutely.
With this, I want to understand why you have an album called Spilligion. Why you're critiquing something as universal as religion. What am I supposed to gain by that? And it's not there. It's just these different little loose connections to God. I think let me just pick a random song, because you can find it anywhere. On Psalm Sing, for instance. I get up so high. This shit got me feeling like I'm closer to God. Now, the song sounds amazing, right?
I like the song so much.
Favorite songs on this album.
I love that song.
When you remember, it's this concept album of religion. I get high, I'm closer to God. That's it. I think that's all we're doing. So again, my universal stand on this album is I liked it 100 times more when I forgot that it was supposed to be this album about.
I agree with you. When you don't have to think about the lyrics, or you have to think about the theme, or think about this is a theme or this is a concept, it's way more enjoyable in my opinion. So
I think another gripe I have about the album, before we get into what we like, because I do think we all like this album.
Oh, yeah.
We've just kind of tearing it apart. But the last thing I have to say about a critique, and I think it's the same critique we have of Brockhampton or Childish Gambino's latest album, is where I ran into this problem with Noah when we were talking right before the podcast, I like this one song, and I forgot the title of it because the title's not reflected anywhere in the song. There's probably End of Days.
And I hate that with I hate albums that do that.
Me too. I hate that. I hate that too.
And there's only two that actually have the name, and it's Baptized and End of Days. All the other ones you have to be okay, wait, I think that one's Jupiter. But wait, no, I was wrong. It was Shiva was the one that I really liked. And so it kind of makes it hard for me to talk about it with other people because I'm like, I forgot the name of the song because it just
exactly.
It's the one that goes like this.
And that's another problem because I feel like, see, that's the thing. When you're doing a concept album or you're trying to do a concept album, sometimes you want the album to have a flow to it. You sometimes kind of want an album to have a flow to it. You know what I'm saying? You want the albums to transition easily or something like that. Give me a concept album, somebody. Give me a good concept album.
I can't. There's not that many rap concept albums I feel like come out. Maybe
okay, I don't want to be that guy, but I don't know. Good Kid, Mad City or something like that.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Perfect.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Great example.
See this thing. That's a concept album that's done very well, but it flows in a way, but it's obviously inspired and it samples a similar genre, but the sounds are different enough where you can differentiate songs throughout each other. And the themes in each song, also it's obviously has the same overarching like idea. The themes in each song are very different to differentiate it. For me, it was the themes in each song were really loosely different, not even that much different to differentiate the song. And then along with that, the sounds with it were still good. It just didn't differentiate enough. So it's kind of hard to differentiate what song's your favorite, especially when the lyrics and the tongue title don't always connect. Even though like it might be talking like Allah, whatever that I don't know how to say that. Even if that's family. I mean, they're talking about family on it. I get it, but like it just wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't hit enough for me.
Like Cupid, I'm like, okay, that's the one where they talk about how he loves his girl. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. It's like okay.
God, Cupid's the god of love, right? But it's like that soul connection to the religion aspect of the album.
Yeah, but we've been taking, and I think we're taking critiques about it because I think we like the artist, and I think we like the music too. I think we like everybody on here is actually. Let's get back to the music. I'm not sure there was a bad verse on this album. I'm not even gonna lie. No. I really enjoyed all the verses on the album. I'm not saying they were all super deep, but I don't think there was a verse that was like, I can't believe he was on here. Like, would you agree, Nnamdi?
I'm gonna emphasize like the last gripe I'm gonna say, that's a good thing. The only reason I'm complaining this much about it is because, especially within the title, it's not like they just hinted towards religion. Like they have a song called Mecca.
It's right there.
Like a song called Mecca, which is huge. Allah. Straight up in your face, like a religion. Shiva. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Avery, but like a Indian deity, or not Indian deity, correct? Like, so it's in your face. They're heavily referencing religion, and it just doesn't carry its way through. Now that gripe has been said, one of the best albums, in my opinion, that I may have, when I can strip away the religion, right, and just focus on this music. Like, let's say it was called like Spillage Village 2. Whatever, then it's like, okay, the songs are great, the production is great. I love how every single artist contributes something different to it. The lyricism is great. Like this is what happens when I feel you get a room of actual creatives together who like really care about music and like really care. They don't care about charts, they don't care about money, they just want to truly make good music. This is what I think we get from it, because I do think it's amazing. I love Baptized. My favorite song, maybe Family, the Ari Lennox feature, which is, I'm not looking at the track list, but it's on here somewhere.
Judas.
Yeah, don't even get me started about that being called Judas, but whatever. But like the Ari Lennox feature, the music itself is really, really good. Like it's a good album, you know, and it's short. It's like a nice quick 12 tracks. 50 minutes, like straight to the point. Like it's a good album. I just really wish they just dropped the religious theme. That's all.
Yeah, Avery, your thoughts on the good parts at least?
I don't think they're a bad song on this album. I think they're all solid to like really good. But like you said, they all kind of have similar. I was actually surprised by the lack of like hip hop sounds on the album. I agree. A lot of it, like one of my favorite songs on the album is Happy. I think it's a really beautiful song, and it reminds me a lot of like an Elton.
God, by the way. Happy.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of like an Elton John ballad from like the 80s or something like that. Like I was really surprised by the lack of hip hop sounds, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think, like you said, it's when you get a bunch of these creatives who really care about music and they kind of just do whatever they want to do, you get something really interesting. And like that can either be good or bad. And I think in this case it was really good.
I definitely agree. I think Although I think that the sounds were interesting, Avery, and I agree with you on that. It wasn't normal hip hop sounds, and I actually respect that. You know, these days it's kind of hard to find new hip hop music in a way, but that's the cool thing. I just want to say that's the cool thing about hip hop. Hip hop isn't. It's taken from other music and making it your own, which I think is specifically what was done on here, which I think is really dope. But for me on this, getting away from the concept thing and like the lyrics and meaning, you know, the meat of this album, I guess you would say, the artists were really the stars of this album, in my opinion.
Yes.
The artists really, really stood out. Specifically, obviously, we have our usual suspects. JID stands out on everything, you know, at this point. Dude's just killing it right now. Earth Gang obviously stands out.
Fan podcast.
Yeah, I mean, JID is
made an impact because I wasn't that familiar with her prior to this, and every single song Mariba touched, every single bar she was on. Mariba, which I heard on from Insecure, but JID and Johnny Venus. I kind of get them confused sometimes because the voices are kind of similar, but they're still used to it. But I have to say, the guy who I was like, who is that guy? Who is that? I'm pretty sure this is him, Jordan Bryant.
Yeah.
Who is that? I was like, every time he came on, I was like, wait, he's killing every time he came on. I'm pretty sure it's Jordan. I'm just gonna say Jordan because I don't want to say Jordan. That just sounds weird. I'm gonna say Jordan Bryant. I'm gonna say Jordan Bryant. I think it's trying to be Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I think he's trying to do both. I think that's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
his name isn't actually Jordan Bryant, and that was the intention. I don't know if I like him anymore.
I don't know. But yeah, every time he came on, I was really like, wow, who is that guy? Who's that? My ears really tuned in for that guy, which I think is really dope. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of agree with all the music in terms of the sounds were really good. Judas, I have to say, Chance the Rapper tweeted like, oh my God. First of all, Chance the Rapper's verse was good.
Yes.
Chance the Rapper's verse was good. So, he tweeted, y'all, every time. What was the tweet?
He said something about like, every time y'all think I can't rap, like I just come back harder or something like that.
And here's like, the problem.
It cheapens the verse.
I listened to him like, oh.
Here's the issue. So again, not talking about the religion aspect, the album itself.
Yeah, the music.
Rapper was a good verse on a great album. That's the best way I can describe it. Mm-hmm. When you gas yourself up that high and the bar's already high, it was a cool verse. I just good. Think, oh my God, Chance may have had the best feature on this album.
Yeah.
Like, so it was kind of like, I just think, like, just let the music speak for itself. That's what I wish he did. I wish he let the music speak for itself. Because now when he raised the bar that high and he was tweeting on that tweeting, and I listened to it, I was like, oh.
I think this kind of speaks to
clap rat. Then I was like, okay.
In my opinion, this kind of speaks to how much Chance has kind of lost. I wouldn't say respect, but I guess he's
lost the touch. I don't think he's in touch as much as he once was.
I agree. I don't think he's as in touch as I think he thought he was, but I think he could have just left it at that. But to go on, is that the song where it was like, it's the end of days? Is that Judas or is that another song?
Judas is the one where they do Hit the Road, Jack, at the beginning.
Hit the Road,
I forgot the name of the original sample, but they do like the Gold Digger sample in the middle of it too.
Yeah. Which is really interesting. But the song is with the song where it's like, it's the end. Is that Yala? Is that the family one?
No, that's just End of Days.
End of Days. Okay. Oh, okay.
This was the first single off of the album.
Yeah, that song, I really enjoyed that song a lot. Dr. Dot, I'm pretty sure somebody needs to look this up. Is he just producer? Does he rap?
I think he's a producer.
Is he just solely a producer?
I think he is
produced by John. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested. I don't know if he raps or what he does. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what he does on that. But
not a rapper. He's a rapper.
He's a rapper. I wasn't sure because on the Earth Gang album, always just Johnny Venus is the voice that stands out to me.
Johnny Venus, yeah.
Yeah, but I also enjoyed the Ari Lennox song. Which song was that again?
Judas.
Was that Judas again? Yo, yeah. Ari Lennox kills it every time. And Mariba, I really want to listen to her music more. She was all throughout this album for the most part. And I have to say, Psalm Sing, I know we talked about it, we had our gripes with it. That's the catchiest song on the album to me. Mm-hmm. You know, I get up. So, and I gotta say this too. This is something that happened. When I downloaded the album, I'm listening to it. And I'm listening to Psalm Sing. I'm like, wow, they're taking out the curse words. I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, oh, that's dope. They're doing, they're trying to do like, I was specifically with Psalm Sing. I was like, oh, they're at, I guess the idea is they're at church, they want to curse, so they're just bleeping it out. And then I go to my album, like, oh, wait,
It's
it's the clean version. And then I get the explicit version. I'm like, oh, they're cursing. Okay, never mind. So I was so confused about the whole idea of them doing. I thought it would actually be kind of cool if they kind of took out the curse words. It would kind of be cool, but I still enjoy it either way. So yeah. So
I was gonna ask, who do you guys? So this album has multiple artists. Noah, you kind of alluded to it. Who is y'all's MVP of the album?
This isn't fair because I
have mine. I think Noah kind of alluded to his.
Well,
for me, it's Mariba. She like everything she touches on this album is like gold.
That's very true. It's very true. I mean,
what about you, Nnamdi? Just say it. Jid is amazing.
Jid's incredible. Yeah, he's amazing.
It's great.
Jid, in my opinion, and this is big because J. Cole was on that Dreamville album. Jid was the MVP of that album for me.
Ooh.
And y'all know how I am with J. Cole, but like Jid was the MVP on that album for me.
Ooh.
And on this again, Jid is the MVP.
I'm with it.
Jid in my
opinion. Now, are you Sway Lee? Are you Sway Lee? Maybe I'm sorry.
No. But I just think Jid is like not only a great rapper, I feel he's very creative and like his
so creative
how he raps, and that's what makes it so every single time he's on a song, it sounds fresh and it sounds new. And let me also just say, in Baptized, a moment I want to highlight when there's that like switch in production right at the end, and it suddenly goes. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not describe it, but it suddenly goes to this like kind of like funk maybe type of thing. That is like magic to my ears.
And they're like humming. It's beautiful.
And it's like really moments like that scattered throughout this album, and that's why I'm like, whoever produced this honestly deserves. The producers are the MVP. Can we find out who produced these songs?
Well, I think it's a mixture of everybody. I think it's multiple. But I definitely
rap and produce. Was that really it? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I think so. But no, I don't know who. But I think it was a mixture of all producers. But I have to say this, coming from Atlanta, I kind of get a lot of slack from some of my younger people from Atlanta because I'm not the biggest trap fan. They're like, oh my gosh, 21 Savage, Young Thug, give me another Atlanta artist, Future,
Gucci Mane. No.
Who else?
I said Gucci Mane. I'm trying to think.
Gucci Mane. I mean, yeah, they kind of like, oh my gosh, trap, stuff like that. And I'm not I still love T.I., my Young Jeezys. They're like the OG trap guys, which I think are still the best in my opinion. But the trap artists come out of Atlanta. But Atlanta, in terms of rap specifically, there's so much other more music that comes out of there in terms of Atlanta. When everybody thinks about coming from Atlanta, they think about the trap side, the music that's coming out in terms of rap. But there's also this hippie side of Atlanta they don't talk about. There's this hippie weird side of Atlanta that people don't talk about, where you get artists like Andre 3000 and Big Boy and Jid and Earth Gang, and give me some more artists.
Killer Mike too.
Killer Mike and this is why, because I think people think South and they don't think lyrical and they don't think creative music, which I think is this, which is why I think, and even I say this all the time, but like the guy Fahim, he's from Atlanta, he's really underground, but like there's a good resurgence of rap music that's not just trap coming from Atlanta, which I'm really proud of.
And now that we're talking about this, Noah, and I want you to comment on this too, because you just mentioned Andre 3000. I feel Andre 3000 influences all over this.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if I found out that like Andre 3000 is Jid's favorite rapper or something, because everyone points to Kendrick with Jid, but I honestly point more to Andre 3000 with him, as far as like the style of rapping and being creative with his rap and just being like boisterous,
any flow he wants.
Well, exactly. Kendrick has an Andre 3000 feel too in some songs too, but I feel like they're all connected in a way, and I'm really happy about that because I mean I'm from Atlanta, but trap, that's not what I grew up on. That's not my lifestyle. Like I'm from the east side of Atlanta. I grew up in Grant Park. That's not what I grew up on.
Right before we started doing this, I was on Twitter and I saw Killer Mike talking about like Atlanta's Black history and how no one talks about it, and he talked about how hip hop interacts with politics there, and it's a whole thing, like him interacting with his followers on Twitter, and it kind of alluded to what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm really happy about this album, because obviously then we have people like Black, you know what I'm saying, like Hip hop isn't just trap.
He's also from Atlanta.
He's from Atlanta. That's what I'm saying.
We need to stop calling him 6 Black. His name is Black. He said it.
Black. I'm sorry. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares, honestly.
I think he actually really does care.
No, I don't think he cares. Nah. Okay. Black. I'm sorry. Black.
All right. So what are y'all's favorite songs off of the album? Top 3.
Go ahead, Nnamdi.
So my top 3.
Let's do 4. Let's do 4. Let's do 4. Let's do 4 songs. Let's do 4.
We do 6 by chance?
No, that's half the album.
Okay.
Let's just do 12. Top 12.
Wow.
12. No, 4.
So for sure, Baptized is probably still one of my favorite songs. Oh my gosh.
It's tough.
Oh my gosh. Shiva, as much as I just trash it, I love that song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Oh my god. Hit the Road, Jack Judas, even as much as I also track talk that song. Love Ari Lennox on it. And 4, maybe End of Days? End of Days.
The single collection, the singles that they put out for this album for End of Days, Baptized, and then Happy. Incredible single selection, I have to say that.
Exactly.
Really incredible.
Taste isn't refined enough to appreciate music.
Awesome single selection by.
Okay, so that's my 4. That's my 4. I'm stick with it. Wait, did I say Family? Did I say ELA is one of my 4?
ELA. Yeah.
I gotta start with it then. Baptized, ELA, Judas, Shiva. Those are my 4.
Okay, Avery.
We go Happy, Baptized, ELA, and Shiva. Yeah.
Well, two of mine are the singles. So Baptized, End of Days. I think I'm gonna go Ocean, and Something because it's so catchy and it's stuck in my head.
So what I'm saying is that all but Baptized is clearly the standout winner, and I think that's fair because Baptized. We all say Baptized, and I think out of all the songs on here, Baptized made sense as the lead single.
I think Baptized is one of the best singles that came out this year.
Baptized. This is one of the very, very few projects that I think successfully picked a great lead single. Because Baptized is that.
Well, End of Days was the lead single. End of Days was the lead single.
You know, Baptized kind of tricked us.
Baptized was second.
You know, yeah. Oh, yeah. But Baptized is kind of tricks us because when you hear that, you're like, wow, it's gonna sound like this. And it really, when Baptized by itself, it don't really sound like the rest of the album.
It's so really trippy. It's such a trippy song. It's so cool.
That's also another theme I also got about this. You know, we didn't talk about it. We talked about a religion thing, but there was a lot of I don't want to say, you know, it's not trippy or I'm trying to think of the word. What's the thing? I said the word. What's it called, guys? When you're smoking, it's not eclectic. I said the word, Avery.
I don't remember.
Just give me more. Just give me a little more.
It's gonna come up later. I'm so bad at myself right now. I'm gonna get back to it later. But it had a bunch of like, you know, open your third eye, smoke. You know, let's not be ignorant. Let's get higher. Let's, you know, open your third eye. You're ignorant. Let's, you know, learn. You know, this other stuff. You know, they had kind of a theme throughout that. So, final thoughts and score.
My final thoughts are it's a good album that I think is like best as like background music, and like you can throw on a few tracks here that I actually like throw on a playlist. Are we doing scores now? Or are we gonna wait?
You wanna wait? Okay, final thoughts. We'll do scores later. Let's wait till later. Nnamdi?
My final thought is strip away the supposed religious concept album part of this, and you get a great cohesive album with great bars, great lyricism, and great production.
Great singing too. Great singing.
And I think it is very different from anything that's out right now. I think they have managed to create a footprint in today's music kind of schema that we're seeing. And I truly can't wait for the next Spillage Village project, which is always good. They left me wanting more. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nnamdi. I think and these days it's really hard to find new rap music. It's really hard. There's so much music coming out. It's really different. And if people are listening, you know, if there's any music that sounds interesting or that's different, you know, that's similar to this, let me know. But this sounds a lot different than any rap music I've heard as of late, honestly. So respects and props to that. But yeah, I'm with both you guys. Really enjoyable listen. Really great as background music where you don't have to when you don't focus on the concept. Nnamdi, I'm with you. It's a lot easier to listen. It's a lot easier to digest as a whole. When you can just enjoy the sounds of the music and the rapping and respecting how good it sounds. So sonically, it sounds great. So yeah, I really enjoyable listen. Will I go back to it? I don't know. That's the thing, though. I don't know. Will there be songs as an album? Will I go back to it? I really don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait, but I'm not sure yet. But still really solid album. So I enjoyed it.
So I think now it's time for the important part, our 97 demo ranking, in which we each say a score, then I average it, and that's what our pod feels. Avery, I would like you to begin.
I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
Avery? I mean, Nnamdi? What about you?
I'm getting my calculator app. So I actually, so this is funny, despite all the kind of shitting on it.
I know the score.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew it.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to 9.
Actually, no. Let me take it back. Let me finish. This would have been a clear 8 for me, but because although I want to strip away the religion elements and it was still there, it becomes a 7.5.
Nah, you gotta give it an 8.
Give it your 8. Give it your 8. You know you want to give it an 8.
I want.
Nnamdi want to give it a 9. That's what he want to give it.
This is my kind of album. I love this album.
Oh yeah, I know you do.
And I told you guys in the beginning, the first 5 days, loved it. Then I realized it was supposed to be a concept album, and it started going down. So unfortunately, because of that, and I can't really take it away, I have to give it an 8. Noah?
I'm closer to Avery in terms of my score. I'm really feeling between a 6.5 and a 7. So I'm gonna say
we love Jid.
Well, Jid's great on everything. So, but we're looking at this. It's not just Jid. It's Jid, Earth Gang, and it's Spillage Village. It's like 10 artists on here, so I can't, look at it as just a Jid album. I think I'm around the 6.5 range because it's still an enjoyable listen, but as much as I want to take away the whole thing about, and the music is great, the music's awesome behind it, I love it. But as much as I love the music behind it, they did try to make a concept out of it, and I feel like they failed, but they just didn't go all the way there enough for me to pull me all the way in, which hurts it for me. Because if I'm gonna listen to it, let me listen to it. If it meant to be background music, just make it background music. So
we have a 6.5, a 7.5, and a 6.5 as our final ranking.
It's like a 6.9-ish.
Dividing by about 3, we gave this album a 6.8. So
I'm saying it can increase. Like I'm never like saying like if 2 weeks from now I'm like, wait guys, this album's way better than I thought, and we could be wrong about this. This album.
I'm pretty sure we gave Dark Lane demo tapes a 7. So try to know that.
Okay,
we don't have to. Okay,
first of all, Dark Lane demo tapes has got worse, but like something like Detroit, I'm pretty sure I gave that the 7. As of now, I'm saying Detroit. I mean, there's still songs. That middle part of Detroit is still really shaky for me, but that album has gotten better and better every time for me personally, which I'm really happy about. So
our average is equal to 6.8. I'm gonna round up to the nearest 5, so we're giving it a 7 on the 97 demo here, which I think honestly is fine, because at the end of the day, like as much as we want to say let's strip away the concept of it, you can't, because that was the goal, right?
Yeah, I want to listen. I hope there's like an interview or article about it where they talk about it, which I can get a better idea of the album.
Exactly.
I want to see that, but yeah.
So you're like a tiny desk with Spillage Village. That'd be
that'd be dope.
I get a bigger desk.
So cool.
Well, that would be but that would be dope though. They can make it happen. So guys, let's get to the projects of the week, guys. This review was kind of homework, so I'm glad we were able to get some other music in while we were doing this, which is saying
I know that's not allowed. I'm pretty sure I'm the one who has told you guys we cannot pick 2, but I couldn't.
Project.
So I'm gonna delete one.
Listeners, Nnamdi here has 2 albums in his project.
I think he should just start.
Which is why I think he would start, which is really cheating. It's really cheating having 2 albums in the project of the week.
Look, I don't want to set a precedent, so I'll delete one after I explain why I had 2.
Watch me come next week with 3 albums on here. It's like, okay, guys, honestly, I know we didn't say 2.
Nnamdi just opened up Pandora's box here.
It really did.
Okay, no, wait. I'm gonna pick.
Go ahead. No. Too late. Go ahead.
Audio listeners who can't see this, I picked Brent Faiyaz FTW, which I was gonna be the sole one. Then I remembered I think Noah a couple months ago had it, so I don't want to do a repeat, and I changed it to Alicia Keys Alicia. Alicia Keys Alicia, because let me tell you something about this album. If we did a review of this album, it would have been a 7 for me, but the highs on this album, in my opinion, are very, very, really, really high. And I don't think there's any lows. I think there's just skippable tracks. I've been listening to a ton of the highs already. There's a lot of the songs I like. Time Machine, one of my favorite songs, is just like funk type of thing. I included on our last playlist. in addition to that, we had what was the reggae song that I had that Noah didn't want to put?
Oh yeah. I didn't want to put. Hey, that's not true.
Wasted Energy.
Wasted Energy.
Platinums, a great song that I love. And then even beyond that, they have Me Times 7 with the Tierra Whack. I think I highlighted that before. They have Authors of Forever, which is a great song. Like there's a lot of really good R&B tracks on there, and I think it's worth a listen. So you'll see a song or two on this week's 97 demo. Check it out on Monday or Tuesday, whenever we drop it.
We'll drop it. Those playlists are getting better and better every time. I'll go ahead next. Thundercat, It Is What It Is. Honestly, Thundercat has released a slew of projects in the past couple of years that have always been really good. Honestly, Thundercat's always really solid. So Thundercat, It Is What It Is. They have his genre under R&B, but I'm not gonna give him that because he's kind of funky. Know what it is. He's funky. Not R&B, but it's funky. But it's not just fun. I'd say it's funky R&B. It's funky R&B. That's my. I'm gonna give it that. It's funky R&B. Now this is the perfect album because this is not an album you necessarily have to pay attention to the messages within it. You know, he's not like saying some deep stuff. It's exactly from what I get it. But the sounds are super interesting. This is a perfect album if you want to light some incense or a light by low candle. Love the shout out, light by low, or you want to light by low candle, but and just listen and relax, man. Really enjoy this album. Steve Lacy is on this album. Zach Fox, Ty Dolla $ign, and Lil B. I know we forgot about him. Lil B's on this album also.
Childish Gambino.
Oh, Childish Gambino's on here. What song?
Yeah, Black Sails, right?
Oh, I think he is. You're right.
Yeah.
Black Sails. Is it called Black Sails?
Isn't it called Black Sails?
It starts with a Q. Black Qualls?
Oh.
I don't know.
That's not, who knows. Thundercat is incredible. He's one of the best bass players you'll ever hear in your life.
Yeah. But point is, this album's really fun. Dragon Ball Durag. I should get one.
Dragon Ball Durag. The remix, Smino and Guap Dead. Fantastic.
Ooh, I gotta listen to that. So, check it out. It'll be on, I'll put my highlights on the 97 demo playlist. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
My project of the week is Telephone by Noname. It's her first album, her best album.
Is it an album or a mixtape? Because when I downloaded it, it was a mixtape.
Your best over Room 25?
Yeah, it is.
I think so.
It's better. It's better.
I mean, Room 25 is great, but I think I like Telephone better.
No, Telephone's better.
But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just consistently a good album through and through. Love Noname. She actually I think she hinted yesterday she's back in the studio making her next album, Factory Baby.
How about do that album with Madlib? We want that. Ooh,
that would be. Ooh. Yeah, love Noname. She's incredible. I think she's one of the most underrated MCs. One of the most underrated rappers out right now.
She's great, man. She's basically poet on the mic.
She's a poet. She's a poet. She's a definition
poet
of
on the mic.
She's got to come out with something new, so I can't wait.
Yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully, she said she retired and she came back, which we never believe when rappers.
I think she said she's gonna retire after this album. She's done after this album.
But I still don't believe her because people say that.
I don't know. She seems very.
Who's actually retired?
But she actually has a lot of other stuff going on. The book club and everything.
Who?
50 Cent.
When?
Yeah, but I mean,
okay, 50 Cent retired because he had to, because nobody cared anymore. That's true. 50 Cent, people retired. He was like, okay, he retired because nobody cared anymore. People, when Andre 3000 just left, people were like, wait, where'd you go, buddy? Like, we want you still. Like, he
retired. He just left.
He just left. You're right. He left. He just walked away from the game. But solid week, guys. Good music week. Good music week, I would say. Good music week.
I want us to talk about the intersection of music and politics.
Ooh.
I don't know where that came from.
Wait, that's a great, honestly, especially the times and highlighting albums. We kind of did that wow.
Right?
Wow, you got me. I'm listening to Run the Jewels. I'm listening to Run the Jewels all this week.
All day. Okay, you guys, this is, I think, a really good episode, and I feel like we're probably right at an hour, maybe a little bit over. Maybe
we're at an hour and a half, so.
Oh my God.
Serious?
Yes.
Why is it every time I think we're going fast, we're at an hour and a half? Okay. Well, with that being said, thank you for watching this edition of the 97 Demo. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at the 97 Demo and be on the lookout for our playlist, which will be out by the time this comes out tomorrow. So give it a listen, follow us on Twitter, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.